Greetings people, and welcome to the second part of the how to actually play Overwatch, now the defense characters. And before we start the video, I would like to say that I know some jokes from the last video were a little too cheesy, while some of them can even make you cringe, but I feel that this video is going to be better, and at least I'm learning with my mistakes, right? So without further ado, there you go. If you want to play Bastion, I won't stop you, but let me be the first to suggest you to schedule a chemotherapy if you want to survive the side effects. He shoots bullets with his basic attack and turns into a retarded turret that can cut anyone like paper with his first skill. The plus side on this skill is that Bastion attaches himself into the ground and is unable to move. His second skill is a heal that can be used in any form because that sounds fair. And his ultimate enlarges his maximum hit points and turns him into a tank. I won't give you any advice for this piece of abortion, just don't play Bastion. Moving on to the next character, we have Hanzo. I wonder why he got this nickname. What is that? Hanzo is a sniper with a poor version of Genji's passive because he can only climb walls. His basic attack is a standard bow and arrow, keep holding to throw the arrow further. But remember that you don't need to reload and you have an infinity ammo in this game, so just spam your arrows. Eventually, one will land in the head and you will score a kill. His first skill is an arrow that shatters on impact and is great for close range fights in closed places. The second skill will reveal the position of the enemies within its range, and will follow your enemies if it actually lands on someone. Hanzo's ultimate will damage any enemy that makes contact with the dragons and will keep going until the map is over. And I want to show something interesting about Hanzo, but we need to see Junkrat first, so hold that thought. Now, Junkrat's basic attack will bounce if it hits a surface and explode after a while, but if it hits an enemy, it will explode immediately. Just be careful cause you can damage yourself. His first skill deploys a mine that can be detonated without you. It doesn't hurt you, but can damage your enemies and can throw them as well. But the best way to use this skill is to throw the mine in your enemy's face and tap out 2 right after it. This is a way to guarantee the skill damage without, having the skills. Junkrat's R1 places a trap on the floor that snares the enemy who walks over it, and you can even know when it happens without looking. His ultimate puts you in control of a tire that can climb obstacles and can be detonated with R2. Be aware that it has its own hit points and can be destroyed before you detonate it. So, remember Hanzo? Something fun that you can try with a fellow Junkrat is the Hanzo's longest shot. You just throw arrows to the sky when you are above a Junkrat's trap. It takes about 20 seconds to the arrows start hitting the ground, so it's advisable to try it when you are defending the objective before the match starts. It may be hard the first time, but it's worth trying. Next on the list, it's Overwatch's Teemo, Mei. And I know, I've already said that Bastion is cancer, but the difference here is I like playing Mei.
Yes, I'm one of them.
So why is Mei that annoying, you may ask? Well, her basic attack not only slows her enemies, it also stuns them after some time. And her second attack is a single projectile that is more accurate than a Hanzo's arrow, so yeah, you may snipe some people with it. Her first skill makes her invulnerable while it heals her. And Mei's second skill builds a wall that gives you points whenever it blocks some damage. It is also big enough to throw your team, stuck your enemies inside or outside buildings. You can as well rotate the wall pressing R1 again, and now you can make bridges. Well, sometimes they will work. Ooh, one more thing. You can also use it under your friends and enemies, so you have a wall, a bridge and an elevator in one skill. Those Chinese, they think in everything. And Mei's ultimate, Blizzard, applies the same effect that her basic attack does, but in a much larger area. Moving on to the next character, we have Tobjorn. His basic attack shoots a single projectile that falls as he moves, and his second attack shoots a bunch of projectiles in a spread that is big enough to be useless in a long range. Tobjorn turret has 3 levels. The first one you achieve by building it. The second level requires you to upgrade it by hammering it. Leveling up a turret increases its maximum hit points and DPS. The level 3 can only be achieved by a turret level 2 while Tobjorn is ulted, and his ultimate also increases his maximum HP and DPS. Now, to use Tobjorn's second skill, you need at least 50 scraps. Then, you'll be able to drop an armor pack that can be used by anyone in your team. A trick that is useful for this character is building a turret on the top of the payload near the end of the game. By this time the attack team won't have any snipers, and most of the players still don't understand hero rotation, so this should be an easy win. And last but not least is the most sexualized character on this game. You don't agree with me? Close your bedroom door and I will explain.
I needed that.
Widowmaker is the second and last sniper on this game. Her basic weapon is an automatic assault rifle, but while holding L2, her weapon turns into a long-ranged sniper rifle that loads and increases damage over the time. Just notice that every shot from her sniper rifle will consume 3 bullets. Doesn't matter if you have 0 or 100% power loaded. Widow's first skill is a grappling hook that pulls you toward your target, and it has a preference for ledges, so don't worry about your aim. Her second skill is a poison trap that damages nearby enemies once they trigger it, and her ultimate gives you and your team the location of all the enemies for a short period of time. Now, honestly, I don't know what to say about her besides that Hanzo is better. He has more damage when you count the skills, and he can provide vision of the enemy team more often. So, I don't know, why would you pick Widowmaker instead? Oh yeah, that's right. Hey, thanks again for the support. Be sure to check my other videos, and if you enjoyed this one, don't be afraid to leave a like. It's not like it's a currency and you have one less like because of it. Now remember that you are a wonderful person. Now have a good day.